All right, it's 5 a.m. on the dot, and I'm starting my new adventures into Jetpack Compose. Hello everybody, how are you all doing? This is episode number 5 of my Jetpack Compose exploration. There's going to be a lot of code being integrated into the project today, and not all of it is going to be mine. I want to dive into connecting the two screens that I've built so far using a navigation solution. I've been reading through the sample code that the Jetpack Compose team have provided, and I'm going to lift the navigation stack that they are using. I want to see how that fits into our travel application, and then I'm diving right back in where I left off, which is a kind of annoying cell layout issue that I had last time. I hope I can resolve it today. I'm aiming for another 2 hours, 2 good hours of work. So let's dive right in, shall we? All right. So the trusty design, here it is again. The layout issue that I had refers to these cells here in the middle, where the text on the right just would not go all the way downwards, and the cell just wouldn't really be laid out correctly against the square image. The square image worked fine, but for some reason the text just would not stretch all the way out. So we're gonna fix that, but first I wanna go and actually connect the two screens that I have together, because I've grown a bit tired of having to comment out these screens again and again just to be able to see one of them. I want to have a organic connection between the two, and to do that, I have studied the Jetpack Compose sample apps. In particular, I've studied the OWL app, or OWL, I guess. And they make use of a custom navigation component. And I hope to be able to lift that. I was also reading a couple of blog posts where this stack was explored and described. And I hope that I can snatch it all away and integrate it into my travel app. But yeah, basically, I think most of you will have seen this. It's the Jetpack Compose sample app that is particularly focused on theming. So you can see that the different screens have different themes, and it's showing how easy it is to dynamically theme an app. So here we have a red primary color, whereas on the main screen, if they go back now, it's more like a blue grayish kind of tint, and it's really easy to switch the themes in Compose, but it's not so much the theming that I'm interested in. I'm more so interested in the navigation. So I will go back into this project, and I think I was in the right place already earlier. I think it's in the utils, yeah. So they have this package here, the utils package, and in here they have a file called navigation.kt. And this is basically where they implement a custom navigator class. And this navigator is managing its own backstack. So in parallel to what we would have with fragments and putting stuff on the backstack, popping it back off the backstack. And so this component does a similar thing, but for composables. And that allows us to use just one activity and still get the same pushing and popping mechanism. It's also, as far as I've read, it's integrated into the life cycle, quote unquote. So you have instant state saving and all that kind of stuff. So let's see how it goes. So I will start by just blatantly copying this off the OWL project and into mine. So let me move over to Android Studio. Okay. Right. So I think I'm gonna do a similar thing and just create a utils package here. And then I will... Is this just a navigator? No. Okay, there's all kinds of different things in here. So I'm gonna paste them in, and then we're gonna go through them. So let me... Hello? Android Studio just froze for a second. Are you with me? Yes, I think now it's back. Okay. All right. Got my own navigation KT here. Well, the package name I gotta rename that, but I'll leave the disclaimer. I'll leave the copyright. Hope that's okay to just use, but I feel like it's fair game until we have a first-party solution, and once we do, everybody's just going to use that anyway. So, okay, so what do we have? We have a navigator of type T. So it's typed T is a parsable, and I think T are going to be the different destinations. So we're going to have like an enum, or like rather a sealed class with the different screens that we have, and then each object in that sealed class is going to be representing one particular screen. So we have a typed way of connecting a destination to an actual composable, which holds the logic for that, or like the UI for that screen. So it has a private constructor, and it has an initial backstack and a backstack dispatcher. I think this comes from Android X, doesn't it? Yes, so this is from Android X activity. Okay, so this is just a callback for whenever the back button is pressed. Secondary constructor with just one initial value, so it's just the initial screen that you go to in the app. It's going to be fed in here. Not exactly sure why they why they have two constructors here, but okay, it's fine. All right, and then they literally have a list of what's a snapshot state list. So I guess that's a composable term. An implementation of mutable lists that can be observed and snapshot. This is the result type created by mutable state list of. Okay, I guess this is kind of a list that keeps its state and is auto-updating, because I think a snapshot is kind of like this auto-updating thing. Okay, we have a callback, and then it does some things. We can get the current destination of the backstack, and then we can go back, we can make it go back, and then we can navigate to another screen. And this is what the screens would use to go to a different screen, pretty much. So whenever a button click or whatever it is happening, it bubbles up all the way to the activity, and the activity holds the navigator, and then it tells the navigator, okay, here you go, here's your new destination, let's go. And then basically it goes to the new destination. And that decouples the screens from the actual like T in this case. So it means you don't have to like start activity for result in your screen one. The screen one doesn't need to care about going to a different screen. It's nicely decoupled. All that screen one would do is it'll just bubble up this callback, just invoke it. It's being passed down from the activity. And the activity then knows, okay, that means I gotta now change the content, basically. Okay, companion object creates a saver, and this is a list saver. The saver implementation, which allows to represent your original class as a list of savable values. Okay, yeah, I can only assume this has to do with instance state, so I'll just accept it. This is just a saver. Then we have a, and it's being wrapped to provide the back functionality. And I've seen this on commit a few times. I think this means that this lambda is called whenever the parameter of this onCommit function is updated. Is that right? Did I get that right? The onCommit effect is a lifecycle effect that will execute callback every time the inputs to the effect have changed. That is really, really cool. So basically, even though enabled is just a Boolean, the compiler will know if it's changed, and then it will update this onCommit block. And that'll mean that we can just run this code whenever enabled changes. So that's really nice. I gotta remember that. Okay, and then it creates an ambient, just this like ephemeral kind of object, which we are gonna bind to something, I think. All right, so this navigation KT, I need a couple more files, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those in as well. So I'm opening up the main activity of the owl project, and I might as well rename mine to main activity as well, because I'm trying to like just do this one activity. All right, so right now we have app theme, and then it just has the start screen inside. So what we are gonna do is, so the owl app, it disables, it enables drawing behind system windows for itself. I'm not sure I want that, so I don't think I'm gonna copy that. And then it instantiates an owl app, and I think that's the root composable. So let's do something similar. So let's do something like, well, travel app. And I think that is a composable. Oh, no, copying too much. Travel app, that's what I want. And the travel app is being passed a backpress dispatcher. And this is where the connection to the main activity happens pretty much. So this is a on backpressed dispatcher. As soon as you're ready, Android Studio. Okay, here we go. This should be this one, I guess. And then I don't want to deal with dynamic theming, so I'm just going to emit the travel app here. And I give it the on backpressed dispatcher, which should be a property of the app compat activity. Then I'm going to import. Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, I haven't looked, but I haven't seen an example app using Jetpack Compose and dependency injection. So I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure if the view models delegate property has a equivalent in Compose land. Because the thing is, I'm gonna pass down the view model here to travel app. That's no problem. But if I had to do that for like a real app, I don't want to pass all the view models down here. I just want to pass like the root container, or like if I use Dagger, like some sort of component down there, which then can inject stuff. But for now, I guess we can just pass the one view model that we do have down here. So I'm going to remove all that. So it's just going to be app theme, travel app. And in here is where we're going to emit these guys in a bit. So I'm looking at the owl app, and let's see what it does. So, all right, I'm typing this out now, and I'll try to explain it as I go along. So, surrounding all of this content is going to be a providers declaration. And providers in Compose, as far as I understand it, is the way to basically tie together an ambient with like an object that is going to fulfill the role of providing that ambient. So I'm going to say this thing, like inside this block, I have a provider for the back dispatcher ambient. And this is provided by the backpress dispatcher that I'm getting into the app. So that means in here, inside here, whenever I write back dispatcher ambient, or like .current, I guess, yeah, this object is gonna be that object. Even if I'm like 10 levels deep in composables, whenever I do back dispatcher ambient, I get that object. So that's really nice. And I've heard the Compose team say that you should not misuse ambience for dependency injection, because right now that would be like my immediate thought would be like, okay, let's just define an ambient for the dependency injection container, and then whenever it's needed, you grab it and then you inject your stuff. But apparently that's not how you're supposed to do it. So I'm gonna read up more on how those two integrate together. Okay, so Owl app has another composable which they did themselves, which is for like insets. And I'm not sure I wanna do that, honestly. I think I'm gonna skip it for now. And then they also have a provide image loader. And I gotta look up where that is defined. It's probably here in this file. Yeah, so they kind of use that. So they define like they do something like this, provide image loader. And then in here, they do more composables. And what this thing does is basically it registers another ambient for loading images. Makes me think again, now that's kind of a dependency injection, no? Well, so I'm not gonna do it because I don't have to. I have coil image and it's fine. And the next thing they have is a crossfade. So that's defined by compose. And apparently crossfade is used to, like, whenever the content in here changes, it'll not immediately swap to it, but it'll fade out the current content and fade in the new content. So you get like this hot swap kind of thing where it doesn't have like hard edges against the new content. Instead, it fades in nicely over top of the old content. So that's nice. So I will do that. And it needs a argument here. And the argument is a current. And current is of type T. And now we're getting into the stuff where we have to define our destinations. Because in here we have to say what is the current value of this. It's basically a key for whenever the crossfade operates. And whenever that key changes, then the crossfade will know that it's got to do some more work. So up here, I'm just going to move these out of the way. We'll need them in a bit. So we'll here define navigation graph. And I'm totally peeking at the OWL source code in order to be able to do this. But so this is a navigator, the class that we pulled in from OWL. And it's a navigator of type destination. And this is a class, this is the sealed class that we're going to define in a bit. And this is equal to a remember saved instance state, meaning that it survives process death. And then we have okay, and then we have a saver object, which is that that thing in the companion object of the navigator where it kind of creates a list saver. I guess that's also for instance state. I have no idea what that's for. And we give it the backpress dispatcher, I guess. And then we have the lambda here, and that creates the navigator object. So that goes like this, and then we say destination dot, and then this is the first, like the main entry point of the app. The thing that in the manifest you would say, oh, give it an intent filter of main. That screen goes in here. So we're gonna do, I don't really have a good name for this screen. It's the leftmost screen in my design. So I'm gonna name it start, just because the package is named start as well. So that's gonna be the first. And it's also going to receive the backpress dispatcher again. Okay, whatever you say. Right. Then we have the navigator, and now we create the actions to move between different screens. So this is another class which basically defines the transitions between the different screens. So this is called actions. And we have to remember it. I'm not sure why we give it the navigator as a key. I have to think more about that, why that is. And then we instantiate it. And this is also a class that we will define in a second. Okay, so we need destination and we need actions. And then the last thing I'm going to do before we jump to that is going to be giving the current navigator object to the crossfade. So as I understand it, whenever that changes, then the crossfade will recompose, and that means it'll go to the next screen. Okay, and that actually is being passed in here. So we can do a when statement, and then we know what is the new screen, what composable do we need, yada yada, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's go and I defined that let's actually define the main activity outside the UI package. Yeah, I think I like that more. And then we have travel app, the root composable, and then we have navigation graph. So what we used to do in XML is now contained in this file. All right, so what do we need again? Right. Okay, so we need a sealed class. I'm not peeking at owl right now. I'm trying to do this just on my own. So we need a sealed class for destination. And then in here, we will get the different screens. That is going to be destination object. And then we have the second screen that we had. It is a location detail. And in fact, this is not going to remain a object, but it has to be a data class. And we would give it like the ID of the clicked item. Like this screen is for one particular location. And so we would give it the ID of that location, I suppose, is how it's going to work. So, and we also said that the navigator is working with parsellables, so it can be used to save state. So we're going to use that, and we are going to make use of parcelize, I think. And I do need to enable parcelize, so let me just do that real quickly. I think that's how this went. I think it was Kotlin Android extensions. Let's see. I gotta look up something because using the Kotlin Android extensions will give us parcelize, but it'll also give us something that I don't want us to use, which is the synthetics, the Kotlin synthetics. So I will quickly peek in a different project of mine to like figure out how you write it so that the Kotlin Android extensions only use parcelize. But I don't want to show this on stream, so I'm just gonna look on this side here. I think I defined it here. I hope so anyway. Okay. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, yeah, I knew it. Okay. So might as well define this here. So we have it's still updating my project for the extensions, but it's fine. So in the Android extensions block, you can say what features you want to use. And I can just say, I just want to have parcelize enabled, and that'll disable the Kotlin synthetics. That's the last thing I want right now because we are using Compose. There's no view in sight. Okay, so that should be it. Cool. Whenever you're ready, Android Studio. Okay, while we wait, let me define the actions class as well. It is being passed a navigator of destination. And basically in here, I'm gonna add the methods that will cause the navigator to go somewhere else. So in here I have something which would be like callbacks for on, let's say on location selected, I suppose. And it would be like an ID. And then in here we would say, okay, navigator, please navigate to the new destination. And new destination would be the location detail with that ID, the ID that you got. And I don't think we need more. Oh yeah, we do need more. We do need an action to go back to the previous screen. So we would have like go back, or like on back pressed, and we can tell the navigator just to go back if that happens. Okay. So yeah, whenever Android Studio is done indexing dependencies, we can continue. Maybe I'm gonna make a dramatic action cam for my Gradle status bar at the bottom, where it says like Gradle build running. And then whenever I need it, I can just make that full screen, like blow it up, so we can endure the pain together. But it's almost done indexing. Come on, you can do it. Alright, bar is full now. Let's see. Okay, can I import this now? Sure can. Cool. All right. So that should be all, I think. Yes. Okay. So all I need to do is import the navigator, and then this should, of course, that needs to be a field. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. And then it's going to start with the start destination, and it's going to continue with the location detail whenever something is clicked. Okay, so we can go back here. So now we have this when statement, and basically we'll say, depending on what kind of destination we have, we emit either this composable, or we're gonna emit this composable. Right? So I'm gonna import the both of them. And I have one remaining question. I guess we will need to give like a callback to the start screen to invoke whenever it clicks on one of the locations. So we'll say like on location selected is gonna be actions dot on location selected it, pretty much. And this is gonna be a lambda that will take in one parameter. So I'm gonna go here and say when we create the start screen, it gets the view model, but it also gets a callback, which is a of type string returning unit. And then in the start screen, whenever I want to, I can invoke that particular lambda. And that'll like be called from anywhere down here. And then when it does, it goes up here and calls this. Actions on location selected. In fact, we can make that a method reference. It's even a bit nicer. And And this will cause the actions to update the navigator. And then the navigator will update its current value, which will make this thing recompose. And then we know, oh, it's location detail now. So now we got to render this content. And the crossfade will then crossfade to that new content. So that's how this architecture works, at least for now, until we have the first party solution. Yeah, I think let's find some place where we actually invoke that lambda in the start screen, and then we should have them connected. So I'm gonna pass them down as far as I need to. On location selected is gonna be on location selected. Just copying this over here. Yes. And if I look at the design, this is what happens when you click on a popular place. So I gotta get my naming straight. We have places, and then we have like place is a grouping of spots, pretty much. So like if you have an island would be a place. And then inside that place, there would be different hotspots. Like there's the beach, then there's a cool restaurant, and those are like two spots within the same place. So that kind of grouping I still need to do. Even on the model side right now, they're all pretty much disjointed. So let me update the naming here. I want to get them consistent. So on place selected is gonna be passed down. And I'm gonna pass that down even further to the popular places section. I'm just gonna pass this down here. This is gonna get put in here. Yes, that's nice. The autocomplete is pretty smart here. It's cool. All right. Yeah, and I guess one more. I want to change the naming here because right now we're at the level where it doesn't really make sense to call it on place selected because we're on the level of one cell and the cell just knows if it was clicked or not. And if I'm gonna do that, then I'm invoking this callback with the items ID. Oh, it's not an object yet, so let's see, just ID to do ID here. Right, and then we get this on clicked is gonna be a no argument lambda. And I connect it through here. Oh. All right, I think we have just successfully connected the two screens. Let's try. I'm really excited to see if this works or not. So let's see, do I have visor ready? I sure do. Okay. Well, let's wait on the first build. I did build before the stream this time. And that worked pretty fast, but now OBS is dragging down the speed again. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I feel like I say that every stream, but it really is a burden on the machine if you're streaming and also running Android Studio. Android Studio is a chore as it is, or like rather it's a chunky boy. It's a heavy software, but it's also kind of the best IDE, so I don't mind it too much. Here we are with the window of shame. It's gonna be the 3 words on my tombstone. It's gonna be Gradle build running. Oh, something's happening. Okay, let's see if I really connected these 2 screens now. So start screen looks unchanged. And now if I click on this, like it won't pass data over. That makes sense to the other screen, but oh hell yes. So can I probably cannot. Oh, I can go back already. How does that work? Why is that working already? Wait, I wanna learn why that already worked, because yeah, awesome. I'm over the moon. That's awesome. Cool. Navigation setup. So why is that working already if I just hit the back button? So I give the activities backpress dispatcher to the root composable. And then I create the navigator and I give it the backpress dispatcher. And then in here I create, is that an Android X type here? It is. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, so when the navigator is created, it registers itself, or like rather not itself, but this callback here. It registers that onto the activity. So when the system-wide backpress happens, then this is called, and it'll make the navigator go back. And it'll then disable or enable the callback. Because if you're on the root screen, then you cannot go back any further. Okay. Huh, yeah, well. I gotta say, shout out to the OWL sample for making this navigation integration really seamless. I like it. Still not sure about the scalability if we were to like actually have like dependency injection and the whole like conjecture of a real app. I'm not sure how I would inject all the dependencies into a composable, but again, I haven't really researched it either. So for now, I'm fine just passing in my one view model down the hierarchy. Cool. That's awesome. I'll drink to that. It's just water. Come on. Okay. Right. So where are we at? Navigation. Setup. I think I will subject myself to trying to fix this this column bug now. So if we recall, these columns here, the red blocks should be tall enough to fill and obscure the entirety of the black box, the blue box. And I have no idea why it is not working. So maybe I'll try the preview annotation. I know it's very slow, but I feel like I might need to check why this is not working. And I'm not sure if I can just deploy the app all the time. Oh, actually, yeah, I haven't connected this button yet. The back button here. I just make it do this animation because I haven't connected it to the scroll state yet. Let's do the column first, and then I'm connecting the arrow. Okay. So collapsible toolbar is not going to be relevant. This is a copy. Location details, screen content. Here, place cell. This is what I want. Okay, so in here somewhere, there's a bug which prevents me from stretching the right text all the way, as far as it can go. It just doesn't work. So let's try that. Making a composable here for place cell preview. I'm gonna do an app theme. I'm gonna import preview. This should now make, it should now make the preview appear in my studio. And I don't want to make my window so small, so I think I'm going to, where is it? Here. I'm trying to do this. I'm not sure if the performance is gonna be there. Oof. Yeah, okay. No. I'm not subjecting myself to that. I like the preview, but with the load on the machine right now, it's not gonna happen. Alright, so I'm back down to deploying again. I will choose the root composable to be the location detail, so I can save myself a click whenever I deploy. I'm also gonna do I'm gonna make that a variable so I can find it more easily and change it. So this is gonna be eventually going back to this declaration, but for now it's gonna be location detail. Okay, so why does this not work? So the image is occupying 40% of the screen width, and that works perfectly. So the blue is the row, the outer row. The box inside is for the image. It fills 40%, and inside is a coil image, unless I don't have one. As for the last item here, doesn't have an image. I clip it, set its background. Yeah, that works perfectly fine. This is okay. I don't need to do anything here. And aspect ratio 1 will make it square. But I am wondering, is there maybe a compose bug with aspect ratio? Like, doesn't it advertise its height correctly and then the right side doesn't know how much space it has or something? I have no idea. So I'm gonna do, just to check, I'm gonna use a fixed height for a bit. Just 200 dips. Okay, and then this here, this is the right side. This is the red box. You can see it has red background. And it's supposed to fill the max size of its parent. and its parent is the row, the blue box. It's supposed to fill the max size, width, and height of the blue box. Why is it not why is it not occupying everything in the Y direction? Beats me. But we'll figure it out. Maybe. Okay, so we have... First we have a row for the title. We have the modifier, the text, occupies the entire width, and then at the end we'll dump the star rating bar. And that works fine. Even for Killing King Beach, which breaks into a new line, it works for that too. And that is fine. I do think that 4 dips of padding here are too much. So 2 should do. And it's 16 dips high, that is okay. Then we have a spacer. Then we have a location text. It's the thing in gray with a marker next to it. Then we have another spacer. And then we have the green text. And the green text I would like to fill everything as tall as it can be. Even if its content is too little. Like, if its content doesn't stretch, then please still make it stretch. Maybe that is my problem though. Maybe I'm assuming that a text composable works like a text view. Like, if you have a text view, if you have like a text view and you make it match parent, even though there's only 2 words inside of it, that view will fill the entire parent, even though the text itself is just this tiny. So maybe a text composable doesn't have these sorts of layout capabilities. It's just that, it's just a text. So if I want to make it stretch and fill out some outer container, then I gotta put it inside of a outer container that can stretch. Maybe this is it. And that's also why the weight, like if I put weight in here, it doesn't work. The text just disappears. So let me try box here. I want to surround this and actually do the modifier here. I'll fill, no, weight 1F. And I'm gonna move the green background up as well, because I want to see the box fill the entire content. This can go away. Okay. Let's compile this. I really hope this works. I feel like the thought makes sense to me. I just hope that Compose agrees with me, to be honest. Right, moment of truth. Okay. So it's gone again, completely vanished from the earth. Weight 1. What's not to understand about weight 1? So this isn't column. This is the column modifier. Size the element's height proportional to its weight relative to other weighted sibling elements in the column. Is there any other sibling who has a weight? No, not directly. This guy has a weight, but it's inside a row. Let me get rid of everything else in this column. I just want to have the green box. I want to see if it maybe is affected by anything else in the column. Also, I'm gonna Google in parallel here. Yeah, it's suggested to use fill max size, but I don't want to have that much. Yeah, it's just gone. It's just not there. So I'm sticking with it. I am gonna not include any other composable just yet. I want to see the green thing fill the blue thing first. It's just not doing it. What is this? At least it's back now, but... Well, I mean, to be fair, it's even the column is not filling the entire height that it has. Like here, this thing. And that is why the green thing also obliges. Like if I remove the green background, we should have the same result, but it should have a red box, not a green box. Let me just quickly verify that. Because then the issue lies with the column itself, with the parent. The parent, even though it has fill max size, so that beats me too, but that might be a problem then. Yeah, okay. So we gotta make the red thing go all the way down first. You'd think that fill max size would do the trick, but... I mean, fill max size is just a fill max height in both directions. I want to see if the red, like the content here is really narrow. It's just a word to do. I want to see if when I do fill max height, if it's gonna shorten the red box, because I would assume that that's the case. It's not, it's just, it doesn't do anything. Let me do nothing. Let's see what happens if I do absolutely nothing. It's just empty. Okay, no change at all. Does a column have any other... Well, it has arrangement. I checked that last time as well. Like I can make the red line. I can center that, bottom align it, no problem. But I don't want to do that. I want to stretch it. Jesus. All right, what do we have? I mean, I can try weight, but there's no point really. Because it's gonna be in row scope, so that just means that it will fill the row, and it already does that, so. Same thing, it just doesn't do anything. So if I give it 100 dips, what's it gonna do? Is it going to be taller now? Is what I want to know. Oh. Okay, it is taller now. And because I made the image 200 dips in height, now it's like 50% of that. So the modifier is being recognized. It's just if I don't give it a fixed height, it just will not do anything. And I do not understand why. We have rep content height. What does that do? I feel like there's this concept of constraints, and I feel like this column is being told that it can be only this small for some reason. I really think this might be a bug or something, because this is such an easy use case. I don't understand why this is not working like this. Okay, you know what? I'm tired of it. I defined this image as 40% of the screen width. I'm instead going to define a fixed height for these cells, and I'm going to keep the images square, but based on that height rather than the screen width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say cell height equals 140 dip. And I'm not going to do fill max width here. I'm going to height with those 140 dips. And then I'm going to say aspect ratio 1F, meaning it's going to be square, but 140 high. And then this thing will also get the same height, forcing it to be the same. Because I have no idea what else to do. And then I'm assuming that now the green will fill the entire cell, because it has to. It fills max size, all that works great. I'm not even sure if I need the surrounding box now, to be honest, but... and I think I could use weight 1 now. I'll try that next. Sometimes you just gotta go with the answer, right? Instead of like fumbling around in the dark forever and ever and ever. Yeah, it's fine. LGTM. Let's try moving the modifier out. And in here, I want to see if... I'll see if that's okay. Maybe there's some intrinsic behavior of aspect ratio which I don't understand. Like if you define the width and then you use aspect ratio, then the height is inferred, and that means that other composables cannot reference that or something. I don't know what it is, but it's okay. I won't think about this too much longer. Might ask Leland in one of his upcoming streams. Okay, that also works. Now let me try weight 1.
Remember all the happy times we had.
Should yield the same result, hopefully. Okay, that's fine. It's fine that the small description does not reach all the way over. The important part is that it fills as much height as it possibly can. So let me re-enable the other composables now. And this should finally realign it so that the show more button of every cell is really tucked to the bottom of the cell, because the description fills everything that is otherwise, wasted space. Yeah. Okay, that's exactly the behavior I wanted. It's exactly the behavior I wanted from the beginning. So, like, in the first cell, for instance, the Killing King Beach, you can see that the green box could be, it doesn't have to be this tall. But if it weren't, then the show more would move up. And the show more has to be pushed all the way down to the bottom of the cell, as per the design. And yeah, that is exactly what I wanted. Okay, cool. So that solves this, I feel like, the saga of my column alignment. So let's get rid of the absolutely horrific colored boxes and back to a actual design, and let's see how it works. I think I need to change the text colors. Oh, maybe not. Looks okay. Yeah, there you go. That gray is what? Is that even gray? I think that's black. I think I need to update the color of the star. Oh, that's what I had the surface for. I remember now. So let's re-enable the surface. I do need to move this up then. No green background for you. Content color is gonna be gray, except for the title. Title is gonna stay just the way it was. Wait, where do I use black in my theme? Huh, I don't. Let's go with a secondary variant then. So let me go theme, no colors, secondary. And this is gonna be secondary variant. Okay, last thing I need to do, and I'm gonna just re-enable my browser window here so we can see it better. Last thing I need to do is I'm gonna add a bit of margin between image and texts. Okay, let me do that real quick. I just saw that. No, it's fine. Okay. A bit of padding, right. Okay, yeah, let's do a spacer between the image box and the surface. So we're gonna do spacer, modifier equals modifier width. Let's do, I don't know, 16 dips. Should be enough. Okay, yeah, looking good. I'm gonna update my theme and I'm gonna make the secondary variant actually black, like close to black anyway. Rest of this looking good though. And I'm gonna make him clickable. And then we're gonna go to the third screen. I think, is that it? Well, I gotta do the scrolling animation thing for the top bar, but in terms of copying the design, I think that is it for the second screen. Yeah, there you go. I like that. I'm not sure about how close the titles are to the star bar necessarily, but I feel like that's a drawback of the design itself. Like it works so nicely with these location names here, but that's not how it's always gonna work. So if I did add more padding, then Virgin Beach would break to the second line, Spooky Town would break to the second line, and I think that would look worse than I have them kind of close together. But I do want more padding after all. I thought I didn't, but maybe I do. The stars need to go just ever so slightly more. Move ever so slightly further down. I feel like 3 is the answer. Not 2, not 4. It's gotta be 3. Like this feels too far down now. But yeah, that's kind of detail work in general. I think this is okay. Let me check the spacing between the cells, because I think this is pretty large here, and I don't think I have. I don't think my spacing is enough. I think I need more. So we compare this to this, and I think my cells are closer together than on the design. So let's quickly change that. So here I have list divider padding. Oh. That's a generic value. But it does look like the same. Wait, is this too narrow on the start screen as well? Ah, dang it. Okay. Yeah, this is also a bit too close. Okay, so maybe I can just update the padding in general. Because I feel like also these cells are too close together. So let's do 16 for list dividers. Crossfading looking good. What I do notice is that the scroll position is not persisted in the start screen. So if I scroll down and I click, then I go back, then I'm looking at the top again. But that might be for a different time. Okay, yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's better. All right, cool. Let's make these clickable. And then I'm gonna refactor in name because I don't like this being called location detail. I wanna get the naming to a consistent state. So clickable, a cell is gonna be clickable. It kind of implies that you'd have to click the show more, but I feel like you should be able to click the entire cell in order to like invoke its navigation. Speaking of which, I need to make this show more a bit more pronounced. And I want to check out emphasis because Jetpack Compose has emphasis and I haven't used that before. So I want to see if this could help me. So let's read together. So emphasis allows you to visually show the relative importance by altering the alpha of content color. That's it? Okay, yeah, well, I guess I could use emphasis to work with the different colors in my cell. Because here in this example, we have black, and then we have more of a gray for the texts below. And these are like not as emphasized, meaning that they are more transparent. Now in my app, I just implemented this by having two colors. I have black and I have like dark gray. But in reality, I could have it just be black and then black with more transparency to achieve the same effect. I think I like that more. So you do provide emphasis and then you give it an emphasis. Both icon and text use content color. This will alter its alpha. Okay. So how would I go about doing that? I'm going to go here and say, so I will make this very emphasized. Let me switch back to AS. Here we go. And I'm going to emphasize this. God, the word emphasis looks so weird. It's gonna have high emphasis. All right, so, and then I don't need the content color at all. In fact, I can just have this be my color black, meaning that I can go back to dark gray for the secondary variant. So this will provide emphasis high, and then these here, and I think all of them, no? Well, show more doesn't, but okay, but these two have lower emphasis. So in here, I'm gonna do provide emphasis. Let's do low. I wanna see what low looks like. And then we have another provide emphasis low. Actually, to minimize the different components. Let's just put those under the same emphasis. And then this will have high again. Format, save, run. Let's see what this looks like. So if I understand it correctly, then the color of all of these 4 texts will be the same, but the alpha of the center 2 will be lower. So they will be more transparent, making them more gray. Oh, there's no low. Oh, there's just high, medium, and disabled, huh? Well, let's do medium then. I'm wondering where these alphas are defined and if I can like give my theme custom emphasis or something. Oh, and the star rating bar is not going to be right now. Well, let's see. That's what I thought. But yeah, they are grayish now. Okay, the stars are too dark now, of course, but that can be easily solved by giving them the medium emphasis as well. I wonder how that works. Like it messes with content color. How does provide emphasis work? Okay. So I guess it just changes the content color ambient to a new color. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Yeah. If it were me, I would make it a bit more transparent, but yeah, I'm okay with it. All right, let's make this clickable. No, let's not make this clickable yet. I forgot to do... to give this a style. I'll try H4. No, you know what? I'm gonna give this an explicit weight. Can I? Yeah. I'll make this bold. Okay, and now I'm making it clickable. So I really like clickable. It's one modifier that I really think is really nice. So I'm just gonna do a lambda here. I'm just gonna say on clicked. It's just gonna be propagated here. And now I'm gonna bubble that all the way up to our travel app root composable. And again, I'm going to make this a different type of lambda so that we have the info about what place was clicked to go upstream. No. That's it. Okay, that should be enough for this screen. Let me refactor a bit of this. Just replacing the name location with the name place. Well, this kind of is a location though. Let's keep it that way. And let me privatize some of these, which I don't want exposed. Oh, I did it for most of them already. Cool. All right. Package needs to be renamed. Whoops. Okay, so we're all the way up to the main root, like the root composable now. I'm gonna just rename the last few methods here. All right. And then of course we need to wait, hold on, this is not actually a place though. This is a spot. If I click something in this list, then it's a spot in that particular, like, place. If I click Virgin Beach, then that's a spot within the place of Lombok Island. Okay. Whoops. So that needs to change now. Still not happy with the naming here, but it's okay. And it's not gonna be a place object, but I don't care about that part just yet. Probably next time I'm gonna refactor a bit of the model behind this, so that we have more data to actually propagate these screens with. Maybe even a change this to on spot clicked. And this is gonna be actions on spot selected, which we don't yet have, but we will soon. Well, I'm not sure where my pretzel just went, but it just stopped. So let me try and get the music up and running again. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have another navigator call here to go to the destination spot detail with a specific ID, of course. We don't have that yet, so add it as a new destination. Gets an ID, is a destination. Cool. Let me get rid of visor for a bit. Okay. Okay. Right, so we gotta connect this to the last screen that we don't yet have. And that's gonna be the spot detail screen. It's also gonna get the view model just because it's convenient. And I don't, well, let's not worry about any callbacks yet. So it's just created like this. And I think, like from the design, these are very, very similar. The place screen on the left and the spot screen on the right are pretty similar. What I really think is weird is that the spot has an X icon and the place has a back arrow. It's really weird. I'm not sure why the designer made that choice. But yeah, other than that, they're really similar. Like the header, big image again, so I'm gonna refactor that out of the second screen so we can reuse it. The texts are a bit different. There's still the title, there's a location below, the star rating bar appears again. Then we have this grid kind of thing for the pictures, which is also pretty easy. It's not even a scrollable row, it's just, it shows 3 images and says plus however many more there are. So section for pictures, section for introduce, and then we have a button bar at the bottom where it says show in maps and then a heart icon for like putting them into favorites, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the code for the second screen, rename it to be the third screen, and then we throw out what we don't need. Not sure why it's renaming both of them at the same time. Maybe because of this save replacement? Why is it doing that? Alright, let me just rename the file then. Oh my god, why? Come on. Why would you do this? Is it because... Okay, maybe it's because the... Okay. Okay, let me try one last time to rename this file. If necessary, I'll open Finder and rename it myself, like manually. Okay, that's better. I think it was because I accidentally had the package name not changed yet. Okay, yeah, so this I don't really care about yet. The data types are all messed up here. This is not supposed to be a list of place, but it's okay. All right, so let me refactor the collapsible toolbar because we have it in 2 screens now. And it's gonna have slightly different content, but it shares a lot of different, like a lot of the behavior between the two, especially when we get to like the scrolling stuff. That's also going to be nested inside the collapsing toolbar, so it makes sense to put it out. So let me... I have this widgets file, but I'm not sure I want to keep it. I'd rather have a widgets package and put these widgets inside of that, the reusable widgets. So I'm gonna rename this to star rating bar. Okay. And then I will have collapsible tool, no, top bar. All right, let's try to find an API that works for this. I'm gonna copy it from here. And then I'm gonna find the stuff that is shared and the stuff that is custom. So I have a toolbar. So what we can do, of course, is we give it a modifier so that from the outside we can update it. Then this is of course applied here by using the outer object. And what else do we have? These are all the animated properties. This is all fine. It has a state. It remembers if it's expanded or not. This is going to be changed to like a numeric value, but for now it's still a Boolean. We have these animations. Okay, what do we have? So it clips the outer. That's all fine. All right, so here's one. We have the image URL, the thing that's supposed to show in the background of this. This is going to be fed in. So like image URL can be null, that's fine, but it can also be provided. Yeah, I do not know what's wrong with my music player right now, but it just stopped again, which is really annoying. Reopen it is. Okay, yeah, so image URL we can give from the outside. So this goes here. And actually, I'm going to make it so only if the image URL is given, then we are going to emit the coil image. Otherwise, we're not. Yes. This is the icon, and we have icon asset. The icon asset changes between the two states. Screens. So it's going to be left arrow or X icon. So we give it the, I guess, header icon asset. And I will make this a vector asset, I think. I'm not sure if I want to customize the behavior of... No, actually, yeah, I do. On header icon clicked is going to be a lambda that's being passed in. So whenever the top bar icon is clicked, then this lambda is being called. Let's connect that. So here we're gonna, this returns a vector asset, right? Yes. Well, to be honest, I could just give it a drawable res int. It's probably better. Header icon int. I can put that here, might as well. Yep, that works. And then on clicked, of course, it'll not switch these states, but instead it's gonna invoke the on header icon clicked lambda. And this can go away. In fact, I think this works too. Yeah, sure does. Okay. Right, so we have these two. What else is custom? Okay, yeah, we have the content. The content put at the bottom left of this. So this screen has like Lombok Island and a text below. Whereas this screen has the star rating bar and like another title and a location text. So this content is pretty much custom. So what we're gonna do is we are going to have the consumer of this composable provide this content here. So we are gonna, at the end of this, do a composable content. And I think we can make this a column scope receiver. That should work, I think. Because we are in column scope now, are we not? Yes. So we can do content. Just emit the content that's given from the outside. This can go away. And we should be good to go. This, I think, needs to be here. Okay, yeah. So there's a weird distinction between this, which can be a type annotation, and this, which can be a parameter annotation. It's a bit weird, but it's okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I can reuse this now. So let's go back and refactor the place detail screen for this use case. This is gonna be not private, that's good. I'm going to make this not usable by just renaming it. And now we're gonna import the real collapsible toolbar and provide its required properties. So what is there? So we have image URL, which is gonna be this fixed, where is it? The fixed URL. It's gonna be the places URL, but alas, I don't have that yet. Okay, so this is going here. Then we need to configure the header icon. And that is for the place detail screen. It's the arrow pointing to the left. Then we have on header icon clicked. Does nothing at this point, but it will soon. And then at the end we have, I think that's it. No modifier needed, but we do need the content. Let me restructure. And then in here comes the content of the column. So whatever used to be in here, this stuff goes out, comes back here. All right, we have title font size. Oh. Yeah, that animates, doesn't it? Okay, that's a problem. The content animates and its size animates as well. Alright, I'm gonna think about that for a minute. I'll be right back. I'll take a quick bathroom break and then we're gonna make the Lambda receive the current title size and then it can do whatever it wants with it. Alright, be right back. And we're back. Yeah, so in order to make the collapsible toolbar, more specifically, its title size controllable from the outside, I think I'm gonna have to do a bit more than what I'm about to. But I think... Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll do title. And the title composable is gonna receive the current title text size. And then we have... And then we have the subtitle, pretty much. And then I'm gonna have that imitable as two separate composables. And then I need another slot for the stuff above the title. What do you call that, though? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I like that. I might need to hook into the transition API and like make the consumer of this composable provide two transition states. And then this thing will create the definition to like move between the two. And then from the outside I can control, oh yeah, the title should go from this size to that size. And then this rating bar should go from the left to the right and that kind of thing. I'm not sure I can get away with just this here, but for now I'm gonna revert and just have the one content, I think. And I'm gonna call that with the title font size. Alright, so collapsible toolbar. And then we have title font size. And then I'm gonna emit just that. So this should do for the initial screen. I think I can get rid of this now. What's wrong here? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, in here, I'm just gonna not bother with this at all. I'm straight importing the shared composable. Import it here and give the values. So image URL again is just gonna be a static image file until I have a better data layer. Header icon is gonna be X icon, so close. On header clicked, it's gonna be empty for now. And then here is gonna be the content. So what does the content of this screen need? It needs these things. So it needs a star rating bar. Rating is just going to be 4. It needs a spacer, 8 dips. Yeah, height is okay. It's gonna be 8 dips. Then it has the title. I'm gonna copy the title from here, and I'm actually also gonna copy the spacer below. Is that really 8 dips? Yeah, okay. It's not as much on this screen, I think. Let's do 4 on this screen. And then here I'm gonna just do Virgin Beach. S1, font size is fine. And then below I have another instance of this composable here. The small white marker with the place name next to it. So I can copy that from the start screen. If I can find it. Here, location text. This is it. This I'm going to copy in here. Already have, in fact. I'm just gonna do, what does it say here? West Lombok. Okay, and I think that is it. Right, so I have this connected. When I click a spot, a place, it should go to the spot details screen. And this should have the collapsible toolbar. No content below it. Well, actually, that's not true. I don't need this. We're gonna deal with the content of this afterwards. For now, I don't need this. I don't need the cell either. I don't need that comment. Yeah, let's try that. I'm really curious to see how the reusability of the top bar works. Alright, waiting for the build. Okay, visor is up, and we're clicking on this item here, this place. We can see that these are now clickable, and there we are. So I click. Not a fan of the missing padding around these. I'd rather the clickable box would go a bit beyond. But in general, this is okay. And if I click it, then we get to the third screen. It has an X icon. It has the new header, the new content for the header. It makes me realize we do also need this gradient at the bottom so that we can read the text better. The gradient that we added to the first screen. Yeah, other than that, this shares the same top bar. If I go back, here's the top bar for the places screen. Here's the top bar for the spot screen. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna cop the gradient from these cells here, from the traveler pics. I'm gonna make that a reusable composable as well. Alright, so somewhere in here is a gradient. Here it is. This is a modifier. So let me actually do this as an extension function. So I guess this is applicable to widgets. Let me do this as a modifiers file. So I'm gonna add an extension function to modifier, and I'm gonna say Darkened Gradient. And that basically means we apply a background with a brush, and I can basically just copy this and then make it a bit configurable. We say target alpha, gonna be a float in float range from 0 to 1. We make, what is it? Oh yeah. Is that a double? Oh, it is. I didn't know that. Or I probably did, but I forgot. What else do we need? We need kind of like a height. Gradient height is gonna be, for some reason, just a float. I don't really understand that, but that's how it is. And I wanna check if on the start screen, right? How? Well, so this is by default just the half of the size. Okay. Okay, well, let's try. So I'm gonna do Darkened Gradient. I'm going to set a default value of 0.3. And then the gradient height you do need to specify. So I'm gonna say gradient height is gonna be 128 F. This can go away. And now I'm using my custom extension function, which I can reuse in the collapsible toolbar. And more specifically in here, I think. Let's leave it at 128. I want to see what this looks like. So this should now make, well, it's not as important for this one, but here, this text, it should be much more readable after this change, hopefully. Oh, it's not using the target alpha yet, but it doesn't matter. Okay, let's see. All right, I cannot see any difference here. And neither I can here. Okay, so let's go back. I added it to the wrong place, pretty sure. I put it, okay. That makes sense. So I put it on top of the coil image. Right, that makes sense. So it's just gonna be, and honestly, I'm gonna do fill max size as well. I wanna see how this looks. Okay, the gradient is too intense. That's what I was afraid of. is that it doesn't go from the bottom. It should start at the bottom and then go up. Right now it starts from the top, and 128 from the top is too aggressive if you... It's not too bad actually having that to be a bit more dim, but I'd rather it only apply to the bottom. So if I have a vertical gradient, right, can I... There's no way to rotate it or something. So there's a draw layer API, right? Does this have rotation? Sure does. So what if I rotate this by 180 degrees and then I draw the background, the gradient? Shouldn't it then start from the bottom? Of course, that would mean that I have to change these colors, but let me see. Right now I have a bright edge at the top. Will I have a bright edge at the bottom now? It's a big question. Would be great if that worked. No, doesn't seem to do anything. Okay. Maybe it's the wrong rotation. Or maybe I have to rotate it after I apply the background. Oh, more things to try. So this did something. Wait, I think that's it. Let me do a more repulsive color. I want to see that effect really on the nose, because I think that's it. It's not obvious on this picture, but on the other I could see the bright shimmer on the bottom. Yeah, you see that? I mean, the colors are inverted, so it's supposed to be the other way around. But if I... Yeah, that's it. That's literally it. So I will change these, the order of these. So it's going to be the red color on the bottom, and then going to transparent. It's rotated. Perfect. That works. That works for me. So what I would have to do for the top bar though is create a much bigger gradient. So at least 4 times what we have now. So let's do 512 because I love powers of 2. Beautiful. I love it. It's cool. Perfect. That's so much more readable. Really nice. I enjoy that a lot. The popular places already use this now, but here the traveler picks do not. I think I didn't add it to that. So let me fix that real quick. Yeah, there's another gradient here. So let me do another darkened gradient. Actually, let me do like bottom gradient or something. And I'm gonna allow... Yeah, I'm gonna allow for the entire color to be changeable. Like this. That's what I want. This is what I want. And you could not see any of that. I'm sorry. There you go. Cool. So let's do this, and then gradient height is going to be 128. This can go away. And then we are good, I think. So we have like draw layer, right? So if I rotate this, can I rotate this back? Otherwise the order will be important. Well, I mean, that would be really funny if that worked. Because I kind of want to invert the rotation. I'm just rotating it so that I can apply the gradient upside down, but then I have to rotate it back. Because otherwise, if I do something like this here, if I'm like, I don't know, applying any other padding to the top, right? It would apply to the bottom because the canvas is kind of flipped. Not that there's like a canvas, but like the rendering target is being flipped. So I want to flip that back. Okay, that did work, but it's too small. It has to be taller. Right now you cannot read Killing King Beach. Yeah, this still looks great though. Awesome. Okay, I will... I will make this larger. 256, I think. And I think I have another clickable, yeah, I have another clickable event to pass up. So if you click these, then you should get to their spot detail page immediately. But right now nothing happens. Only for the places down here that happens. But right here, this should go to the spot detail screen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect that click listener to the action. Which also unfortunately means that we have to get rid of our temporary star animation thing. But it's been overdue and I don't need it anymore. Alright, one more lambda, which I'm gonna pass down all the way. Okay, that should be it. Oh, forgot one. And again, the cell itself doesn't need to know what the upstream wants. It just gets a onClicked and then that's it. And then I'm mapping it here to actually the ID of the clicked item. This is gonna be onClicked equals. Okay. Let's format this. Looking good. Going all the way up. I have missed something here. This. So when a spot is selected, then I'm just going to on spot selected. Just like with the other screen, it's gonna invoke the same action, meaning that the same destination will be opened. Okay, so this can go away. All right, let's find out. Okay, so we have these. This should now bring me to the spot detail page, and it does. It's not the right one yet, of course, but it's better. The gradient is better as well. This all looks good, and then if I select anything here, go back to the spot detail page. Okay, last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect the back button, this guy here. I'm gonna connect that to actually do something. I'm gonna connect that to an action. We have the action already, it's just not connected. Okay, so place detail screen has the collapsible toolbar. And then when the header icon is clicked, I'm going to go and invoke a lambda, which is on back pressed. And this thing is just going to go and invoke that. I'm gonna do the same thing for the spot detail page. Very same thing. On back pressed. And connected. And then up in the travel app, I gotta give this some life by saying that on back pressed, I wanna invoke the on back pressed action. That should be all I need. And now the header icons should be connected and should behave the same as if I were to just do the swipe gesture to go back. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna click on this to go to the place, and then I'm gonna click the header, and I'm back. Perfect. Crossfade works. Same thing for the spot. Yes, sir. And let's go to a spot through the place, and then the backstack will pop correctly. And if I go back one more time, I'm back out of the app. Perfect. Okay, I think that is all that I'll be doing tonight. I'm happy that I've got the navigation set up now and actually connected to the screens and like connect them together to each other. That's really nice. Still a bit cautious with this navigation solution because even though it looks really nice and it could fit into a nice architecture, I'm a bit hesitant on how a full-fledged app would get its dependencies injected into a composable without using ambience, because apparently you're not supposed to do that. So I'm gonna look up how other people have maybe managed to actually do and approach this question. Like, how does dependency injection work in Composeland? Right now I only have one view model and that's fine, but what if the app would grow? Otherwise, let me see here. What is there to do? Like, we haven't done the bulk of the UI for the third screen yet. So next stream is definitely gonna focus on this third screen. It's not that much, to be honest. We have sections again. We have a title, and we have a couple of images next to each other. I am assuming that clicking them will enlarge them, so we'd probably have maybe a dialog window, something like that, like showing a modal dialog pop-up window. That's a interesting thing to look into. The +10 more maybe opens a grid, also a pop-up kind of, not sure. Then just a boring text below. That's nothing to write home about. And then we have two buttons on the bottom there. No idea what the heart is gonna do in terms of like other functionality, but the show in maps, yeah, it's gonna invoke an action. Yeah, looks all good. So next stream is gonna focus on the third screen. When I have that, and I also have the pop-ups, I think that'll be it for the experiments that I wanted to do for Jetpack Compose in the confines of this app. But yeah, I won't get ahead too far. I won't get ahead of myself too quickly. I want to finish the third screen first before I talk about future projects, but expect more to come even after I finish this travel app. Right, so I think that's it. Bit of a quiet stream today. That's fine. Did get a lot of stuff done, which is nice. Next stream is gonna come certainly. Until then, take care. Bye bye.